Alright everybody, Infernal Shrines, our first map in the grand final of the tournament here, and well, as we're heading into it, the first thing that I realize is that the teams kind of screwed up the position because, well, Washed Up is obviously starting on the left side, not on the right side, as you might have already figured out, so I'm going to adjust the overlay in just a second for that. The interesting part with this is actually that the third place decider was not even played because Pork9 decided to not show up and forfeit the match completely. It was a little bit unfortunate for us, but well, as it stands, we at least have the grand final to look at. And it could be an interesting one, because this is one of the first times that we are actually not seeing the ex-Granite Gaming team, Lauber's fan club, in the grand final. They were taken out by Pork9 in the quarterfinal, and subsequently Pork9 themselves lost to the Vikings in a pretty epic series. So at this point, we're looking at our grand final, best of 3 series here at the HeroesHype tournament, and maybe we're gonna have a new champion. I mean, Washed Up, of course, quite powerful these days. They've proven that now several times by also winning a few tournaments by themselves here. But let's jump straight in. This is the patch where we already have some adjustments, especially to supports. For some reason, Blizzard, for example, thought that it was definitely necessary to buff Malfurion a little bit, because, I mean, he was only in the top 2 of the supports, so he desperately needed a few buffs so that even the plebs in Bronze League can win with him, because apparently down there the win rate wasn't quite where Blizzard wanted it to be. So in this case, I would say Malfurion is definitely going to make an appearance in this draft. Not that previously he wasn't already one of the best choices when it came to supports, but at least lately, Rhaegar is obviously a big contestant, and oftentimes has even taken priority over Malfurion, since he adds a lot, especially when it comes to the camp control that you can execute on Infernal Shrines. You have more clear on the shrine thanks to the Lightning Shield, and a little bit more as well. But for now, we're having, in terms of bans, Mephisto banned out, since Muck is on the other side, and the Vikings usually have a lot of power with Mephisto when Muck gets his preference pick here. We're having Johanna taken as the first pick. Interesting, because that not only has been a priority pick for them for a long time now. They went into quite often Johanna plus Blaze, actually, right at the beginning of the setup. But it's also interesting because it deletes one of the options that the Vikings usually play with. Since with Berkult in the front line, they're normally riding either Tyrael, Garrosh, or Johanna, if they can get into those. Now, the patch has dropped a couple of subtle changes. For now, we're still having Rhaegar prioritized over Malfurion, which again kind of makes sense on the map, as I highlighted, because of the camps that you have there and the AoE damage that the Lightning Shield provides you on the shrine itself, where you have an easier time collecting the globes towards the objective. But we also have that focus into Yrel again, and we've actually seen this yesterday against Pork9 too. So we'll see how much of the impact that's going to have. Then I'm still curious what Nick is going to pick in particular. And also if you're going to see Blaze on... Ah, there we go. That's exactly what I was waiting for. Awesome. And with that, we actually get Anna. So I'm really happy with this particular development. First of all, I'm pretty happy that we are still not seeing Malfurion here, despite him being buffed again. But we have Kerrigan, and that's pretty epic, because Nick has played so many games on Kerrigans right now, where he absolutely demolished. And in this setup, with Anna already being used, you can imagine that there's going to be a lot of mage damage behind it too, so this is going to be a lot of fun. Hammer gets banned out too. Obviously, the Vikings, they kind of learned their lesson a little bit in the past, and they also watched some of the games that Washed Up played, and you never want to give the Germans the tanks, because Hazo Ops is pretty solid on this one. But this is going to be pretty awesome. I like that. This is going to be a good game. Kerrigan from Nick. I mean, again, he is a great Kerrigan. He's showcased that now several times. Doesn't mean that he's unbeatable, so can the Vikings deal with Kerrigan here? They already have Yrel, so that's a bit of positioning that you have on this. Diablo gets banned out now too. When we're talking about the frontline though, we could still see that Tyrael, just saying. And also, there's obviously Garrosh around, but if they want to play an aggressive setup, and if they're worried about Kerrigan and potential combos with her, then Tyrael and Sanctification might be an option that the Vikings are going to secure for themselves here. But there's Blaze! Yeah, apparently after Lauber has started to play Blaze more in the frontline position, we're now seeing a similar strategy from the Vikings against Kerrigan. Maybe not even a dumb idea. And as I said, when Lauber actually played Blaze as a frontline tank, on this map, it starts to make a little bit more sense for you, because you get even more wave clear for the shrine and also a strong position on the shrine with bunker. So when you're talking about maps where Blaze could be played as a main tank, Infernal Shrines is definitely at the forefront of it. Oh, Swiffer, as they Quasar goes into Leo, doesn't have a chance of going into Blaze this time, so Leo it is. And the newly buffed Junkrat is also getting picked here. Junkrat already before that, after the rework, picked in the hands of pros. Quite regularly, actually. We've seen him yesterday a lot of times, to an extent where he was even banned against Swamgrota. And now we're having him, after the recent patch drop, picked again, of course. And in addition to that, after Gul'dan, what's Maka gonna play? He's obviously the X Factor every single time. And he's the one that we see most eyes on. And we actually have ETC. What a massive frontline. ETC, Blaze, and Urel. Kerrigan has a lot of melee targets, but there's also a lot of stuns, a lot of, power slides, push from Urel, jet propulsion, bunker. There's a lot that we're seeing on the side of the Vikings. Grand final time, first map, Infernal Shrines. Let's hop straight into it. Game on, everybody! Washed up against the Vikings. The grand final series has started, and we're on the first map, Infernal Shrines. Hazorps on the left side for Washed Up on Junkrat. Nick on Kerrigan. Can he carry again? Quasar on Leoric, and Masquerade on Johanna, with Banana H on Ana. Every single time you see Banana H on Ana, you have to be careful, because Banana H's Ana is pretty solid, and Ana played by Banana is pretty bananas. To the right side of the map, the Vikings with Khaldor on Rhaegar, Sven on Urel, Make on ETC, Gia on Gul'dan, and Opa Dopa, aka Backhold, on Blaze. Time to shine, ladies! I'm ready. This one should be good. On level 1, the Wolf Run for Rhaegar. Run, little wolf, run. And the Echoed Corruption on the side of Gul'dan. And, well, there we go. The action is already turning straight on to Leo, who has to Wraith Walk out of this one, as they're starting to jump all the way up to the top. And, well, down at the bottom of the map, Kerrigan is already sitting tight. There was actually a time in the game where you had to ban Ana against Banana, because if you didn't ban Ana against Banana, then you had a big problem, since Banana's Ana is actually really, really good. So most of the teams, they banned Banana's Ana, because, yeah, that's just what you did. But in this case, she is getting through the draft. Not really the high priority anymore that Ana was in the past, but still a solid choice. And the first blood goes to the red team. Yeah, quick kill, and they might actually get a second one too. That's the front line gone. Kerrigan down, and Johanna has fallen as well, and that is a pretty good start for the Vikings. Again, they are doing really well here. They're doing extremely well. It's actually a lot of fun to see them play, especially yesterday. The series against Pork 9 was absolutely incredible. Again, if you haven't caught that yet on YouTube, you should definitely make your way over there to check it out, because that series was pretty epic. But as it stands in the game at this point, we have 2 kills against 0. The first objective hasn't even been announced. Obviously, when we're talking about those Punishers, that's a bit of a different story. Then we're going to have more of a focus from that melee setup on the side of Washed Up on getting combos off with Kerrigan leading the charge. But I'm a little bit worried after the level 10 abilities, because, well, with ETC's Power Slide, a potential Mosh Pit, on top of this also the Bunker, Horrify, it could be a rough game for Nick, it could really be. But there's the combo, and it's a good one. They're trying to get the kill against Sven, but the Space Goat hops out of harm's way, and Nick is in trouble once more. Marker gets the kill, but he himself might still fall, and yes, he does. Kill for a kill right there. And, well, that gives us the first kill also for Washed Up. Took them a while, but they're starting to get into the flow here. Level 4 abilities are in, which gives us the Sharpened Blades. And now we are going to see the first Shrine announced in just a second, all the way up to the top. In terms of quest talents, Proc Rock on level 1 for ETC is at 6 stacks. We're having 10 for Gul'dan. Once he completes his, that's obviously going to be a big power spike. We're actually seeing with Slumber Shells on the Overdose a focus straight into the Sleep Dart right now from Ana. Nick in the middle. He's the one who still works through the shield here. Masquerade, with all the wave gear that he provides, should also make his rotation towards the top side very soon, since they obviously want to capitalize on that. All that power that you get with the Condemn on the Shrine itself is invaluable when you're attempting to get the Punisher. And he's already on the move. Level 7 abilities. That's another thing that you need to try and get as quickly as you can when you're fighting for this. This is the reason why the red team doesn't have everybody here. But Gia might fall, because it didn't have everybody on site, but barely survives with the Drain life. Nobody following up on that. And that was quite nice. And just look what happened. They have level 7 a little bit quicker, because they had heroes in the middle and the bot lane getting another wave. and all of a sudden they have the extra talent. Half a level missing for Washed Up, but they have the big lead now on the minions, trying to make sure that they're getting everything in the middle of the lane so that they have a chance to get their own level 7 talent, but they need to poke from the outside now. That's where Junkrat obviously comes into play. He's going to be fantastic for this, but they still need to be a little bit careful. Good stun, and the follow-up from Junkrat. Macke trying to move away, but they're going straight in for the attack, and level 7 is close for the blue team. 28 against 27 stacks right now as the Vikings are attempting to focus on the objective a little bit more heavily. Here comes the jump once more. Karrigan in a bit of trouble, tries to get the combo off. Gul'dan is low, makes the jump, but he himself is going down. Rhaegar dead, 38 against 39. Who gets the last one? And it's the blue team. They try to get the second kill, and they do against Yrel. 2 down. Macke is also on the move. He's not going to make it either. They're trying to get him here, and even with the power slide, he's not going to make it out of there. That's a 3rd kill, and the Punisher is moving in. Washed Up, absolutely kicking ass in the first one. Nicely played. The attempt to bait the Punisher over has also failed. Another huge problem here for the Vikings. They're going to suffer a lot more damage now than they normally would have, so that's a big problem. In terms of builds, we've seen a big focus into the Steel Trap just as yesterday, but the Taste of Explosion and the Tricky Shuffles are a priority for Hazorps. Leo has already moved down to the bottom of the map and has given them the experience, and they're in the lead now. They take the entire fort down thanks to the Punisher not being baited over and 3 heroes eliminated, so the defense was difficult, especially since there's 3 melee heroes and only 1 range with Khaldor. But all of a sudden, that momentum that we talked about is in the hands of Washed Up. There's the vision granted by the abilities, and that allows now those Khazras to attack that particular fountain directly. And especially with that mine here, that is more or less endless. So you get the fountain for free, and that's one of the little tricks that you can do in the mid lane on this map. But the aggression still there. Once again, Nick is already looking for the next jump and the next target, especially with Sven walking around. There's the stun and the kill. Sven not paying attention, and the goat is dead. Nick gets a couple of pings as a result. But yeah, his Karrigan is pretty awesome lately. I mean, the first time that he played it, I think, was on Tomb of the Spider Queen. And it was the best of 3 series where they played her twice and they crushed with her. And these days, you actually see Karrigan banned out against Washed Up for exactly that reason. I think I've seen 1 game where they lost with Karrigan. Ooh, Masquerade was actually looking to see if he can maybe flank in with a Blessed Shield. Not the case right now. Level 10 abilities also gave us the Riptire. And we're probably going to see that in action again. Here comes the Blessed Shield follow-up. Maelstrom in. Riptire goes through. ETC goes down. And Berkul gets attacked too. But they can't get the kill against Blaze yet. Level 10 abilities now on both sides. Nick tastes the blood in the water and wants to go for an additional kill, but he can't. But they broke through the wall and they're going for the fountain. This one's down, and that's the lane where we're going to see the next objective. Good cleanse from Rhaegar. Ancestral comes through against Blaze as he drops the bunker, and Karrigan gets demolished. Nicely played. Stage dive on ETC, the slide on Ana, and Banana H is down. 2 quick kills from the Vikings after they got their level 10 abilities, and it couldn't have come at a better time. They're catching up in kills, they're catching up in experience, but they've lost a lot of infrastructure on the map. 15 stacks for ETC, 30 for Gul'dan, and they want to make sure that they have another camp as they move towards the top left. They might just overstay their welcome here a little bit, because Ana might be dead, but she is back in just a second. And are they going to fight for this? They're going for Gia in the back. That's the main damage dealer, and if Gul'dan dies, that's the problem. Everybody's starting to jump in, but the red team is looking for the kill against Equaza. They can't get it, though. Gul'dan dies. Finally, Leo also eliminated, but not before he gets the Entomb out, and Gul'dan is trapped. They might actually fall next. Hazorps shelling away with the grenades from the backline as Banana H is coming in, and here comes once again the attack with the Riptire, and the kill against ETC and Yrel. 2 more down, a 3-for-1 trade, but the camp has been stolen. That's at least one slight advantage that the Vikings got out of this one. 13 nearly in the hands of Washed Up, and now we're seeing everyone focusing their attention onto the shrine again, all the way up to the top. This one is not going to do anything. Shaman already down, they move down to the bottom, they're taking the shrine, and ETC, he can stage dive in, but Yrel, she needs to move over quickly if they want to have a chance of winning the Punisher here. It's going to be pretty difficult for them to pull that one off, especially with level 13 in the hands of Washed Up. The advantage goes to them. And the red team doesn't even try. For good reason. At this point, they don't want to go in for it just yet. They know that they need the 13 talent. Without it, they can't really fight here. It's too big of a disadvantage for them. And so they leave that Punisher to the opponent, which is going to result 100% in the top fort falling. And that's the second fort that is going to go down here. So at this point, let's take a quick look at the damage output too. Junkrat on 27,000. We're having Kerrigan on 17k. And we have 23,000 for Gul'dan. Masquerade and the rest of the team is already setting up a little trap as they are attempting to get an easy kill here, but nobody's falling for it. Very safe rotation, with the exception of Sven, who moves into it. Had a bit more vision, so I'm not worried about it too much. Punisher alone is going to make it towards the key, but the team itself more so interested to eliminate the last fort of the game in the middle of the map, and that's exactly where they're headed right now. Blessed Shield is in, and ETC is... no way. It's alive! Okay, they thought they could get the kill there easily, and they were so close, but they didn't want to spend another ability on him, especially not a heroic. And it turns out that ETC is able to move out. Absolutely calculated. Macke, rocket scientist confirmed. Totally calculated by him. Walks in, says, yeah, you have nothing on me. And just moves away from this one. Nicely done here. So now we're having again Sven jumping in as the two teams are trying to fight here. The problem is that we're having players all the way up towards the top, and that is going to take him a little bit of time to move in for this one. They could have actually gone for Sven. He still has his ult up, but Leo could have used his Entomb to trap him a bit longer. He already used the jump. But now we're also looking at Echoed Corruption right here, with 8 stacks missing. I'll make that 6, so they can go for that again. 13 is ready for both sides, but the Vikings are still in trouble, since level 16 would be a massive advantage for Washed Up for the next shrine here. So we need to be very cautious around that. And again, the camps are claimed by the blue team. They're doing really well with this one. Also, look at Leo. Bit of a different build for him. Goes into the Spectral Leech here against all those heroes at the front. He's going to get a lot of auto attacks through for the sustain. So they're not making any plays on the normal build. There's not a lot of tough damage dealers towards the back that they want to focus on with this now. So Leo, with a bit of an adjustment. Nick gets the stun through against ETC, but then decides like, maybe not a fight that I want to fight just now. Yeah, well, and outside of this, we're also seeing the Khaldor Peacekeeper on level 13. The same synergy that we had in previous games. The Light of Karabor taken on level 1. And the rotation towards the bottom where they're trying to catch Sven. There's the stun, there's the Blessed Shield, ult is out, displacement, and the goat is trying to hop away. Where's the Entomb when you need it? Well, there it is, of course. Ancestral, on the other hand, saves him for a little bit longer. Riptire comes in too, and that was a nice escape here. The great escape of 2019 thanks to the Divine Steed. Well played. So, with this now said, we're having the attack straight into the middle of the map. Masquerade is already sitting tight to take down another minion wave so that they have an easier time pushing in as their wave comes. There's the Horrify against the red, but Hazorps gets away, and all of a sudden it turns against the red team. The Vikings are falling. One down, Rhaegar eliminated, and Kerrigan is jumping in again for another stun combo. Doesn't land it perfectly, and this allows Sven to move out of harm's way, but there's the 16 talent in their hands. The Mithril Mace on 16 also claimed. There's the Endless Nades. Shrine activating in another 22, and obviously camps are also taken by the blue team once more, as they're looking for more experience, and also pressure on the lanes themselves. Talking lane pressure. The Quas are already moving topside and starting to push this one out. They can go easily for the shrine now with the 16 talents in their hands. But the Vikings got that talent too. Quest is completed from Gul'dan. He has the Ruinous Affliction now. Rhaegar is back, but he doesn't have his heroic. The lead obviously on the objective goes to Washed Up. But they haven't won this one yet, and this is the best chance for the red team to turn it around. Blessed Shield gets used. There's the Entomb. They're making the play, and they're going for Sven again, who barely jumps out. ETC is dropped, though, and Blaze using the bunker might just be the beginning of the end here for them. They have nothing left, and they might fall, but the Entomb is already gone. Hazu wants the kill, can't get it. Kerrigan jumps in, looks for the combo and doesn't find it, but puts more damage onto the fort. They're all jumping out, focusing back on the shrine. Hazorps just bouncing around like a gummy bear. And that could be even keep. It is going to be fort. Fort is falling. 100% here. Can they get the keep though? That's the big question. 11 kills against 6, and it seems like they are trying to go for the Shaman camp towards the top side. That's exactly where they're moving right now. Middle fort is falling 100%. They don't need to be there for this one. And right now, there is Nick claiming the top. Junkrat is pushing it out. They're making the move into the middle. Two keeps are going to be assailed by Washed Up in their push at the same time. Top and mid lane, they're trying to go for it, trying to break through the gate here, and they muster all their forces to make that happen and look for a follow-up kill after the Punisher lands the stun. Top gate is also falling against, well, the Shamans, but here comes the stage dive, and immediately TC gets bounced back by Junkrat. Punisher is defeated, but up here at the top, the push is ready, and the red team is more so interested in fighting. They drop the Horrify and try and get a kill afterwards, but that isn't happening. Here comes the Riptire, and Gul'dan is down. No chance for him. Kerrigan with the aggression as they're looking for follow-ups, but Nick is low, and Nick dies. Well, Rhaegar actually going in for the last bite against him, but the red team still isn't out of harm's way here. Khaldor is trying to keep his boys alive. Sven with the ult, but Yrel is in trouble, and she gets taken down. The Space Goat eliminated. Top keep is about to fall too, as they're dropping the damage onto Blaze, and he's eliminated as well. A 3-for-1 trade in favor of Washed Up, and it seems like they are going to get the top keep for sure. There's just too much pressure, and nobody's dealing with it right now. One keep is going to be eliminated. Marke gets cleansed just as he slides away here before HeroesHype can bounce him back into the opponent's team. Level 20 abilities are now also ready for the blue team, and they are looking absolutely powerful here, especially with Buried Alive becoming an option on the side of Leoric. And in the meantime, we're also seeing the Blinded by Light. We're having the Nano Infusion. Here comes the aggression. The Entomb actually missing, but they still get the kill against ETC, and they want the second keep right now. They go straight for the middle, trying to take it down there. Top lane is already getting pushed down at the bottom of the map. More damage is being dished out by the minion waves, as we have the mid lane assailed. Washed Up going for Sven, trying to get another kill against Yrel. 15 kills against 7 right now, as Washed Up is trying to clean the house here. Yeah, about to drop the keep. I'm just not sure if they can. They don't have enough damage there just yet. Could move in with Junkrat to bounce a few grenades over, and that's exactly what they're trying to do. Sven is catching every single one of them, and he needs to. But even if they Quasar just YOLOs in for it and sacrifices himself, that would work. And here comes one grenade after the next. Once again, the attack with Storm Talons in their hands. They are not shy of forcing another fight here. Damage output right now with 52,000 for Junkrat, and he finally also gets the grenades bounced onto the keep itself and takes it apart. 53,000 damage for Gul'dan, but they just can't get the kill. Especially Maka on ETC is getting bodied by the opponent, especially Kerrigan with the lockdown and the follow-up damage. Kerrigan herself, though, dying a lot in this game. 4 deaths on her. But then again, she opens up a lot of possibilities for the blue team to get those kills and carry the momentum. Shrine activating at the bot lane in just a few seconds, and it's going to be tough for the Vikings to make any kind of play here. Obviously, they're in trouble. They don't have Storm Talons. They have 2 lanes aggressively pushing against them. And the big question is just now simply how are they going to deal with this push, especially since it looks like Washed Up is going to make a move through the bottom of the map. They have 1-2 heroes over at the shrine, but they're pushing the lanes out, and they have the camps also pressuring the opponent even further. Masquerade has an easy time moving back with the Iron Skin, and he pops it instantly as he sees some opponents approaching. But the shrine is already about to be taken, and there's no one really on the Viking side that is going to try and deal with this, not without the Storm Talents. Their whole strategy at this point is to get the next talent and then defend with its help. That's what they're currently trying to do. And it is pretty difficult to make that work. Ooh, Blessed Shield. Masquerade was anticipating a bit of a direction change in Gul'dan towards the right side. That didn't happen, so the Blessed Shield goes out without him accomplishing anything there. But they're still... they have enough time there, and they're waiting a little bit. They can literally wait for Masquerade to reduce the cooldown on the Blessed Shield to do a little bit more before they take the last minion here, so that he can use it again in the next fight. They have no problem with that. The problem that exists for Make is that he's dead. Yeah, that's an Entomb, that's a body block, that's a stun, and that's a dead Make. ETC down. That's a 5 versus 4, level 20. Yes, it's ready for the Vikings, but that's not going to help them in a 5 versus 4. Even going down to the bottom now, and Blessed Shield is back up in another 8 seconds. There's the fight, there's the kill. Rhaegar is down. The Horrify didn't do enough for them. Gia is already moving away here, or at least trying to, but Masquerade has the Blessed Shield, uses it, and drops Gul'dan. Rhaegar is dead, Gul'dan is dead. Every single dirty orc here goes down, and Sven is now attacked too, and boom! That takes the goat apart as they are pushing the middle. They can take the Punisher, they can go in with a catapult. At this point it really doesn't matter anymore. They are looking fantastic, and they make it straight towards the core here. This is going to be lights out in game number 1 for the Vikings. The grand final is going to start with a victory for Washed Up. There's no doubt about it. They go for the full 5-man team wipe, and who can blame them? Catapults are pushing in on every single lane. They even took the Punisher, who's now making his way down to the bottom of the map. No matter what happens here, this is checkmate right now. No opportunity for the Vikings to come back into this. They have to win the second map if they want to go the full distance in this series. Washed Up looking strong on map number 1, and the Catapults are finishing what they started. GG, and well played as Washed Up takes the initial victory in the best of 3 series against the Vikings. Game number 2, the Vikings against Washed Up, and we're on Tomb of the Spider Queen, which is actually one of the Kerrigan maps for Washed Up. I assume that it's their map choice, since I think the Vikings, after losing game number 1, have very likely taken first pick, first ban. We're gonna see in a second. But I would, yeah, they did. I would assume that a Kerrigan ban is in order after the last one, or at least a strategy that will shut down the Kerrigan engagers of the opponent's team. Now granted, Kerrigan died a lot, but again, after she already set everything up for the opponent, or sorry, for the team, she can die and sacrifice herself if they get enough kills in return. So let's see. At this point, Hansel gets banned out first, and there should be a couple of adjustments. Yeah, Johanna gets banned instantly. So you can already tell that this time, with the first pick and first ban going over to the Vikings, they actually banned Johanna out. If that wasn't the case, if they were the ones that could decide the first hero, they would have actually taken her again on the first position. I'm pretty sure about that. But there need to be a couple of adjustments, and the Vikings will definitely change their MO here. Also, keep an eye out on Vala, because on the last map she has actually been banned out, but in this case that's not happening just yet. There's the Ana ban. They're banning Ana against Banana, because Banana's Ana in the last game was pre-Bananas. And the last ban is coming through, so there's a lot of first pick potential that we're now having for the Vikings, but Vala unfortunately gets banned out. I would have loved to see another game with a girl, but not happening yet. So let's see. What are we gonna see as the first pick now for the team? In different map I would have said we're gonna see Li Ming again for Marker. They actually first picked Li Ming not only on Battlefield of Eternity, but on quite a few maps. I think the last time it was actually Volskaya Foundry where I went into a first pick for her. But Rhaegar is just a little bit too solid at this point, especially of course with his Lightning Shield and the Wave Clear that he offers, or well, the assistant Wave Clear that he has with that. But now, the question, what Washed Up is gonna do here? This is a map where HeroesHype has more than once also found himself in an offlane position on Rexa, so that might be another thing that they could do if need be. We've also seen him here on Sergeant Hammer. But there's Kerrigan. Again, I thought we're gonna see a Kerrigan ban. That's not the case. The newly buffed Malfurion is also taken, with Ana being banned out. So Nick on Kerrigan, Banana H on Malfurion, and the game is up. So at this point, the Vikings know exactly what they're facing, and now they have to find a way to just deal with this. And what is going to be the answer? Is it again a Gul'dan play with the attempted Horrify after Kerrigan makes the engage? Are they just going to look for additional stuns to shut her down? Or do we see something like Tyrael? Yes, we see Tyrael. Tyrael and Alarak. Make playing Alarak here. But I told you that Bergholt actually, with his Smurf account here, loves to play either Johanna or Tyrael, and that's exactly what we're seeing from him right now. And Tyrael with a good sanctification when Kerrigan makes the engage can ruin a lot of these plays, and then you have to try and capitalize on that. Alarak for the plays from Make is also ready, and well, here come the bans. Offlane could be the target now. But they ban Gul'dan. They don't want that Horrify. First of all, Gul'dan offers, of course, Wave Clear on the map, so it's not only about Horrify, but you want to shut down the Wave Clear of your opponent a little bit if you're playing on Tomb of the Spider Queen. And Horrify is another great tool, of course, that they can also use. Never fails. Ban the Hammer against the German. The Germans. Especially Hazops. Yeah, his hammer plays. It's these days mostly Chris, Ty, and Hazops that play Sergeant Hammer for the respective teams. And with great success, I might add. A little bit map dependent, of course. A little bit more mayhem in this game as Junkrat gets picked again, and there is Blaze. We talked about this in the previous draft. Blaze was taken away by the Vikings, but generally speaking, was what Washed Up really likes to do is play Johanna plus Blaze. Blaze on the offlane is awesome for them. Now, obviously, they can still go into an additional side lane unless they want to play Blaze in a frontline position as a main tank, which we've seen now a few times thanks to Lauber. Not really a super common strategy, but it is possible on a map that requires a lot of wave clear if you add that too. There's Li Ming still. She gets picked a little bit later than I expected her, but she's still getting taken by the Vikings, so they have the reset potential. And Sven is jumping onto Urel again. Quite literally, so Space Goat is back to business, and that leaves us with the last and final pick for the second map, which in theory could be the last map of this grand final, depending always on how Washed Up performs here. Can the Vikings force the third map or not? And there's Dibbles. Diablo gets picked, and with that we're making our way into Tomb of the Spider Queen. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready for map number 2 of the grand final at the last HeroesHype Qualifier for the Season 2 playoffs. Game number 2, Tomb of the Spider Queen, located just underneath Sky Temple. We have on the left side Washed Up with Hazops on Junkrat, Nick on Kerrigan, Banana H on Malfury, and Masquerade on Diablo. Good hero for him. Obviously was also changed slightly in the recent patch. Dequaza on Blaze, and to the right side, the Vikings with Sven on Urel, Galnagulnar on Rhaegar, we have Gia on Liming, Make on Alarak, and Opa aka Backhold on Tyrael. Let's go! On level 1, we actually see the Soul Shield here against the continuous poke from Liming. Let's see what they can do with that. Currently, we're also looking at the same build that Hazops already used in the last game on Junkrat, so going straight into the tricky shuffles on level 1. Well, and that's it. We're having everybody located in the middle, going for that 5 versus 5 brawl, so nobody's splitting off just yet towards the sides. And let's see what we're gonna get with this. Does anybody make the engage? Do we see a Kerrigan combo into a Dequaza jet propulsion? Doesn't really seem like it. But actually getting a bit of a lockdown here against Tyrael for just a second. Not really enough to force a kill, but dropping him to 50% HP is already half the battle and gives them a little bit more here. So towards the bottom of the map, Urel is sitting tight. Nick is moving in, and they are going to try and get, well, maybe not the kill, but get him low. And maybe they can even get that kill, but nope. Sven has a bit too much to offer here. Nice setup, but here comes the rotation against him. But Make missing their combo. Yeah, it's actually a 4-man rotation that we're having in this. And nice. Oh my god, the Kerrigan combo, the follow-up for Malfurion. Can they get a kill against Urel finally? And it seems like this time it's going to work out for them. But the goat jumps out, and Sven actually survives this one. Massive battle between the two teams here, though. Not a single hero falling. And well, just as I say it, we have Alarak locked down. And he gets dropped. Well done. Really well played, by the way. I mean, the entire setup here with Kerrigan combos and the Malfurion follow-up are... Again, the same thing again. Kerrigan's combo, Malfurion's root on the ground. They're trying to get the kill against Sven once more, but Diablo gets pushed in deep into the tower range, and he gets actually dropped by it. So the counter kill for the Vikings. That was a great play by them. Now, you have a lot of aggression in this game already. I like it. Both of the teams not hesitating. And they are putting the pain in. Kill for a kill, nearly level 4. Make is also now back. And Junkrat the entire time rotating between mid and top lane to make his plays here. So, now with that said, we also have the Strangling Vines now. So with this, less healing. If you actually use that properly when Rhaegar is trying to get an Ancestral through, you're pretty much shutting the entire heroic ability down. Hand of Freedom for Urel. And down to the bottom of the map, we have Sven maybe in trouble again. Well, gets attacked here. They're trying to lock the combo in, especially with Kerrigan joining the fun. Sven is on the run. Gets locked down by Malfurion though, and Hobbity Hop jumps out of this one. But damn, they have a hard-on for that Space Goat. I can tell you that much. It's normally a New Zealand thing, but damn son, they are going deep for this one. Alara gets wrecked. And yeah, that's 2 kills against 1. I like the aggression that we're seeing from Washed Up. I really enjoy it. I mean, they are not wasting any time here. They're rotating from one lane to the next, trying to get the kill after a kill. Quasar is getting towers at the bottom of the map now, but boy, this game is already off to a good start. 2 kills against 1, camps taken everywhere, and it's just a full-on brawl that we're seeing between the two teams here. With Nick showing exactly the aggression that we already witnessed in game number 1, but even more so in previous series on this map, where he was aggressive from start to finish. So, well, for now, having a 3-man commitment at the bottom of the map as they're going for Urel again. They want the goat, and they get the goat. Finally, there it is. The kill comes in. And they go for the wall to open up a new possibility with the next Web Weaver wave to go maybe even for the fort itself. They have enough gems, for sure. The opponent has already lost quite a few, and they're gonna lose more because, well, Alarak goes down once more. And I love these setups. Stun after stun, into root after root. When Malfurion lays down the lawn, they just have no chance to escape, and he locks them down without end. The combos are insane. The combos are absolutely incredible. This is really the coordination that you want from a professional or semi-professional scene, and it is super fun to watch this. They are absolutely on the same page whenever they're engaged. A level ahead now, 5 kills against 1. Hazu Orbs with the 26 gems that he's trying to turn in. If Nick delivers his own gems, then they are going to have the first Web Weavers they send for them, and there they are. The Web Weavers on the way down to the bottom, mid, and top lane, and that should eliminate fort number 1 at the bottom of the map, and they might even be able to get a little bit more in the middle here. Yeah, level 7 abilities are ready on both sides. That at least gives us cleanse. That's a good tool for them. Nick actually attacked this time. That would be a perfect kill opportunity, and Kerrigan goes down. Perfect timing, just as the Web Weavers are in. Very, very well done by them. And now at the bottom of the map, I guess the fort is still gonna fall. Blaze is gonna make this an easy destruction, but there is going to be a lot less potential for a massive push. And well, Masquerade falling is a problem because he had a lot of gems there. Banana Age is actually ooh, they're recovering all of them. Nicely done. Yeah, the red team not diligent enough to work around that. But the fort at the bottom of the map has fallen. The defense in the mid lane was successful, and towards the top, the Vikings have also started to take the Web Weaver apart. Nicely done. With this, we're having the move down to the bottom of the map though, and everybody's jumping in here, and they're trying to get the kill against Rhaegar, and Rhaegar is getting wrecked. Yeah, he's getting wrecked da. So now we have a half a level missing for 10 and heroic abilities, and they still got a lot out of this. They might even be able to get a bit more in the middle and maybe drop that wall. Nah, not really. I mean, the minion wave has to be taken out first. They have to wait for their own. Don't think it's gonna happen. Yeah, look at the gem count that we have between the two teams. I mean, look at the discrepancy between the two of them. It's insane. Whereas the red team hasn't turned in a single gem yet and only holds 81, the blue team has already delivered an entire Web Weaver wave, and is now sitting at 55. So they are massively ahead at this point and have a chance of going for the double turn-in, especially since they now have level 10 abilities. That gives us the Apocalypse, the Riptire. We're looking at the Bunker. And, well, the Ultralisk for Kerrigan, even more CC. I'm talking Kerrigan, she's currently going for the camp here together with Malfurion. And they should be able to push this through, and if they, in addition to that, get also the Web Weavers, they will have a massive advantage. But with level 10 abilities ready for the Vikings, they at least have Sanctification finally in play. And that's a big one. That needs to be interrupted though. Yep, and it's not happening. So there is a camp that pushes through the middle, but that's a chance now for the red team to get a bit ahead here. Yeah, they've suffered in structures, but they might be able to get something done. The combo against Urel though, gets the ult in and survives through the Apocalypse. So at least that happened for them. But that fight is by no means over, because everybody is moving into the middle of the map in order to get ready for that 5 versus 5 fight. They're going to go all out on this one, as it seems. 6 kills against 3 in favor of Washed Up. But they're actually falling back for now. Trying to defend at the bottom of the map with 2 heroes. Kerrigan and Blaze both moving in for this. Sven with 22 has to be careful and can't be alone here. The quest is completed for Kerrigan as everybody moves towards the top. 86 sadism for Maka, not really a whole lot. Same goes for his level 4 talent. He's sitting at 4 stacks here on a negatively charged. Gets another one in just as we say, just as we talk about it. But how much can they get in damage? Not a lot. They get the walls, but that's about it. Carrigan is connected though, and she goes down. Nick falls, Nick falls. Bunker or no bunker, doesn't matter here. The Riptire comes in, they recover the gems. They get some damage against Tyrael, but it's not enough. Can they get a counter kill? Doesn't look like it. They have to be more careful that they don't lose a second hero, and it seems like Quasar is actually going to bite the dust here. He barely dodges out on the Liming combo, but the Calamity comes in. As once more we're seeing the big jump here from Gia, and he gets it. Yeah, if you ride the money pig and you have the Mila Superstar skin, then obviously you're going to be good around those plays. You're going to make the special plays here. That's what you're born to do, right there. And no, they're going for the fort. They get it. And there's a lot of momentum all of a sudden for our red team. Yeah, the Vikings, not a pushover team. They want to go to map 3 and turn this franchise around. Question is, can they? They're still slightly behind. In gems, they are starting to look a little bit better. But they still have to turn in. I'm not quite sure if that's going to happen. Here comes the Apocalypse, the combo. They're trying to go for Alarak. Counter-Strike is coming through. And Make survives. Yeah, the Ultralisk is also in play and is starting to chase them down here. Banana H is a bit low, and Gia wanted the kill against Malfurion, but he can't get it. Quasar comes in with the jet propulsion as they're attempting to zone them out once more to give a bit more space towards Hazorps in particular for the turn-in, but he can't get it either. 13 talents would definitely be a relief, but they don't have them yet. Quasar looking again at a potential stun. Sven gets stunned for just a moment, but there is no follow-up, and finally the level 13 talents are ready for them, and Masquerade and Hazorps are turning the remaining gems in. There's the advantage right now with the Chrysalis for Carrigan, and they are trying to get the momentum of the Web Weavers through the middle and top lane, where they're going to attempt to drop those 2 forts. So with this, the move straight into the middle. Quest completed for Masquerade, as he's looking finally at also 100 souls. Seeing the Earth Shield, Illusionist. At the same time, the right of Shakir. But here's the Web Weavers, and the camp was already claimed. Urel is at the bottom of the map, trying to push that through up to the top. Still 1 fort. It's going to be attacked very soon here, but everybody seems to be more so in the middle, with 2 exceptions down at the bottom of the map as they're trying to go for Sven again. 37 gems in his hands. It's Diablo that falls in the middle though. Urel doesn't go down, but the 4 versus 3 turns against Washed Up, and that means that they are losing out on another opportunity to gain momentum here. 6 kills against 6 right now. Situation is definitely turning. Another attempt by Maka to get something set up here against Quasar. Dibble's obviously back, but reset now on the souls, that's a problem. And they nearly didn't get anything out of those Web Weavers. A bit of damage towards the top fort, but that was pretty much it. So this is starting to become a bit tricky. At this point, 23 stacks for Junkrat. We're having 29,000 for Liming. And still Carrigan trying to go at least for a camp here. It's a cool game. 6 kills against 6. It's game number 2 in the best of 3 series. And Washed Up, they want to crown themselves the champion. This is one of the first times when they don't have to go up against the fan club. So now an opportunity to take the title. But there's obviously someone who has different plans, and that's the Vikings. They lost the first map, they lost on Infernal Shrines, but they have plans for Tomb of the Spider Queen, and they're trying to get another kill just as they got the turn in, and Nick nearly fell to this one. Nick nearly died here. Sven has 43 gems, by the way. He needs to be really careful. If he goes down, that is a huge loss if they lose those gems. Once that the Red Web Weavers are done, I'm pretty sure that he's very eager to deliver his gems. And that's a nice setup. But Cleanse is there, and Gulnar is ready for it. Once again, the jump. Sanctification hasn't been used yet. Here comes the Ancestral. Apocalypse is in. They're trying to go for Marker. He goes for the counter-strike. Sanctification on the ground. It's a 5 versus 5, but it starts to turn against Washed Up again. They need to wait for the cooldowns once more. And there's the bunker as Blaze finds himself in trouble. He gets body blocked and pushed away. The Carrigan combo is missing. The Masquerades... yeah, Masquerade is actually, for just a moment, trying to get the move in, but he's not able to connect with Gia, as Li Ming was nearly dead. Junkrat has now rotated topside to make sure that the keep, at least, is not going to get any damage pushed on it. At the bottom of the map, the fort is down, but in the middle, the fight continues with the kill attempt against Tyrael, and he's finally down. Wants to get some value and gets a big explosion going, but they want to go for Sven. Sven still has those 48 gems that I've been talking about earlier. Khaldor pausing the game, as this is actually starting to get a little bit ridiculous here. Tyrael is already dead. Khaldor with a tactical pause here for sure, trying to make sure that his team has another moment where they can talk a little bit about strategy. But on the left side, the blue team, they want Yrel, and Yrel already activating the heroic ability. If they can go for that, that would be a fantastic kill. Gia himself is looking for a kill against Equaza right now, and Maka is definitely going to attempt to help out Yrel as much as he can, because if they lose those gems, they are in trouble. HeroesHype is back to business, by the way. He's just now jumping back into the fight here, but another big part is the level 16 talent that we have for the Vikings. The Vikings now looking at Mirror Ball. We're having the Earthgrass Totem, but Rhaegar doesn't really have a lot to offer at this point anymore. Gulnar is already all the way to the right side. If he has to come back in, the only thing he can drop is a healing wave and maybe trying to get the Earth Shield through too with level 13 talents ready. But it's going to be a little bit difficult for him, honestly. No matter what reason they pause the game here, it definitely leaves the team a little bit of time to coordinate. And, well, depending on where Yrel currently stands, should be able to make the way out of this one. But if Yrel dies and they lose those gems, they are in trouble. They were able to take the top fort down. The bottom fort has fallen too, but Yrel hops out. And the teams are just parting ways here. Nobody was able to lock her down here. Had the cooldowns ready. And with level 16's ability missing, I don't think Washed Up is going to be too unhappy about that. They get their own level 16. They have the gems for another turn-in just a moment. But they gotta be cautious because, guys, the Vikings have another turn-in ready. The Vikings have another turn-in ready right here. And they get interrupted on at least few. They only missed 2 though. They only missed 2 gems. And Washed Up is in a situation where if they deliver everything they have, they could get that turn in too. 16 stacks for the negatively charged for Alarak. 115 on the Sadism. And yeah, this is a big fight now. This is an important one too. This is literally where momentum can change. They go for Maka, they go for Alarak. Sven is there. Cleanse. Gulnar keeping himself in the back and making sure that his teammates are safe, but they're starting to cluster up here. Li Ming coming in as well, looking for a good angle for a combo, sitting at 42,000. The only hero that hasn't died yet on the red team side. Karrigan jumps in, they want to make the play, and they get it against Tyrael. No sanctification. Sven is in trouble, but he delivered his gems already. The jet propulsion connects again in the middle. Karrigan wants the combo, gets the combo. They go for Alarak. What a beautiful follow-up on the side of HeroesHype as he bounces the target back into the team, and Maka, despite the fact that he gets the ancestral healing, can't make it out of there. So he dies, and Sven does too. Both of them eliminated. 3 kills in total, and now massive momentum for Washed Up. What a beautiful fight and incredible combos that we've just seen from the blue team. Incredibly well done here. They go for the boss, and of course they do. It's the Vikings with only 3 heroes on the map, even after Tyrael comes back. There's nothing they can do about it. Blue Web Weavers are now also descending. They're trying to time it as well as they can. Karrigan is making her way to help out, whereas Blaze is already pushing the lane out in order to get that fort destroyed before Boss and Web Weavers even make their way onto the lane. But this is an incredibly powerful push now for Washed Up, and they need to drive the momentum home right now. This is their opportunity to make a big step forward in this game. The fort in the middle has to be destroyed, and they're already working on it with a wave clear against the night camp that was taken by the Vikings. But topside, that's where most of the action is right now. And there's a 4-man defense already set up. Junkrat is now making his way into with Web Weavers plus the boss. You need to try and get that keep, and they get the kill against Rhaegar. They're off to a good start here. The Riptire comes in, and the sanctification interrupted. Tyrael is dead. The Vikings trying whatever they can, but the interrupts are a little bit too strong, and without sanctification, they just don't stand a chance there. Another kill as they go for the triple. They want another one. They're starting to the wall, and Mark Marke is in trouble. Marke in trouble. He is down. Web Weaver is knocking onto the keep at the bottom of the map, and here at the top we're already having the first major structure falling. Another kill, and that's a 5-man team wipe right here as Washed Up. They go for the win. They go for the victory. They go for the core. They go for the 2-0. They want to crown themselves the champion in the HeroesHype Previous Series Qualifier, and there is nothing that stands in their way anymore. GG as Washed Up goes in and drops their opponent with a 2-0 victory in the best of 3 series. Well played, and Carrigan carried once again. Great series by Washed Up.
Hey guys, thanks for watching today's video, and I hope that you enjoyed the match and the commentary. The remaining time of the video has been added to protect against spoilers caused by the length of the video itself. But please keep in mind, though, that this does not only mean more work for me, but also has a negative impact on the popularity of the videos and the channel because of YouTube's algorithms. It would be greatly appreciated if you'd consider supporting the channel and help me to continue the daily esports coverage by clicking the join button below the video or supporting me through the Patreon page linked in the video description. Thanks a lot for the support, and see you guys next time.